Overzealous MIL doesn't respect food boundaries, gets hit with a fart machine. My mother-in-law Linda is amazing in a lot of ways. She loves our kids, she helps out whenever we need her, and she always has our backs. But she has this one problem. She thinks being a grandma means she can do whatever she wants with our kids, especially when it comes to food. And I'm not talking about sneaking them an extra cookie after dinner. I'm talking about full-blown sugar attacks that completely ignore what we ask her not to do. Her kitchen has 2 entire drawers filled with cookies, candy, and chocolate. Not like a little snack drawer. 2 full drawers that look like the checkout aisle at a grocery store. Last year at Thanksgiving, I watched her give my nephew Tyler, who was 8 at the time, an entire angel food cake. Not a slice, the whole cake. She handed it to him with a fork and said, "I just want to see what you'll do." Tyler ate the entire thing in like 20 minutes and then threw up all over her bathroom. My sister-in-law was furious, but Linda just laughed it off. She always says the same thing whenever anyone tries to set boundaries. I'm a grandma. I can do whatever I want. So last weekend, we're staying at her beach house for a few days. My son Carter is 3.5, and he's completely figured out that grandma's house has different rules. Actually, grandma's house has no rules when it comes to food. Saturday morning, we're all in the kitchen making breakfast. Carter walks up to me and says, "Daddy, I want ice cream and cookies. It's literally 8:15 in the morning." I tell him no and point to his banana and yogurt sitting on the table. "That's what we're having for breakfast, buddy." But before I can even turn around, Linda's already got the cookie drawer open. She pulls out this huge pack of chocolate chip cookies and hands 3 of them to Carter. He's standing there with this giant grin holding these cookies like he just won the lottery. I look at Linda and say as calmly as I can, "I'd really appreciate it if you didn't feed my son cookies before 8:30 in the morning." She just waves her hand at me and smiles. "Oh, come on. Let him live a little." She said it like I was being some kind of fun police for not wanting my 3-year-old hopped up on sugar before breakfast. My wife Sarah just looked at me and shook her head like, "Don't even bother," because this is what Linda does every single visit. We set a boundary, she ignores it, and then acts like we're being ridiculous for caring. Later that morning, Sarah and I went out shopping in town while Linda watched Carter. We stopped at one of those beach gift shops that sells everything. Seashells, t-shirts that say things like "Seize the Day," those wooden signs with weird quotes about wine. We're walking around and I hear this woman behind me talking to her husband. She goes, "Who would even want a fart noisemaker on a keychain? That's so stupid." And I just stopped walking because in that moment I knew exactly who would want that. I found it on the next aisle. It was this little black keychain with 6 different buttons, each one making a different fart sound. It cost like $8. I bought it immediately. Sarah looked at me like I was insane, but I told her to trust me. Here's the thing about Linda. She absolutely cannot stand potty humor. She thinks it's disgusting and childish. Meanwhile, Carter is a 3.5-year-old boy. Farts are literally the funniest thing in the entire world to him. We got back to the house and I gave Carter the keychain. His eyes got so big. He pressed the first button and this huge fart sound came out. He started laughing so hard he fell on the floor. Then he pressed the second button. Different fart sound. More laughing. For the next hour, that's all we heard. Just 6 different fart noises on repeat while Carter ran around the house cracking up. Linda's face was getting more annoyed by the minute. She kept making these comments under her breath about how disgusting it was and how she hoped the batteries would die. Finally, she looked at me and said, "That thing is absolutely revolting. I hope it breaks by tomorrow." She said it loud enough for Carter to hear and he stopped pressing the buttons for a second. That's when I walked over, knelt down next to Carter, and pressed the button that made the longest, wettest fart sound. Carter completely lost it laughing again. Then I looked up at Linda, gave her the biggest smile, and said exactly what she'd told me that morning. "Oh, come on, let him live a little." The look on her face was perfect. Her mouth just dropped open. Sarah was trying not to laugh behind her. Linda knew exactly what I was doing. She couldn't say anything about the fart machine anymore because I'd used her own words against her, and Carter got to keep his new favorite toy for the rest of the trip.